Hello, time for another fun video. So today I'm going to discuss seeing a cheat, somebody who cheats on you, has affairs behind your back, things like that. How would you see that in a chart? The Karaka for cheating is Rahu, the north node of the moon. Karaka means significator in Vedic astrology. So you would look at where Rahu will be sitting in your chart. It's really interesting because Rahu is also the planet of fun, but it wants to expand everything. And unfortunately, if he's sitting with certain planets or has an impact on certain planets, then yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare for the person who is in a relationship with you. But what I want to say is, honestly, I think in my pre-astrology years, pre-wisdom, well, I hope I'm wise, I used to always kind of like get upset about things, and maybe you can't help it if somebody's cheated on you, you can be a little bit judgmental about them, which is fair enough because they've hurt you, haven't they? So, but this is what they're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. So what can we say? It is what it is. I just wanted to touch on the very first one is the most difficult kind of relationship for a woman would be being with a man who has the sun in their chart conjunct with Rahu. It doesn't matter what house number it's in. If they have that, because obviously the sun is your confidence, is your soul, is just such an important planet. And if the man's sun is conjunct with Rahu, Rahu is a shadowy planet, kind of eclipses whatever planet it's sitting with. So naturally, if it's with the sun, it just means that this person is here in this lifetime to find out about themselves, about their soul's needs. So they don't really know themselves. They don't really, and everything they project to the world, it's very surface because, again, they don't really have the confidence. They come from they have to work on that in this lifetime. So it might be from a place of lack. So they are overdoing it. Don't judge them, and obviously with time things will get better, but they will have to do a few things like this, and it will probably in the end hurt themselves as well. So I don't want to be judgmental because it is what it is, and people, we all here to experience things, and this is what a Sun and Rahu person will have to deal with. And unfortunately, people who are in their relationships, they have to learn not to go for that, And also, if the sun, wherever the sun is sitting, if Rahu is 10 houses away from it, then it's similar sort of thing as well. So this person really they actually don't really understand what they're doing because they're disconnected a little bit, shadowy planets over them. They don't see the big picture. So when you say to them, but you did this to me, you were seeing me for 2 years and you were texting other women, they really don't see it from your viewpoint. They have that childlike, immature kind of way about them. So that's number one. Also in relationships, it's really difficult to be with somebody who has Moon Venus conjunction. I'm not saying they're necessarily going to cheat, but Moon Venus is just very much about enjoyment. There are two benefic planets, and they just literally want to have a good time. So commitment is a difficult thing for these people. They will cheat if Rahu is aspecting. So yeah, watch out for that one as well. I mean, the other planets can as well, but definitely Rahu can be a little, because Rahu is sneaky, you see, it's a shadow planet. Yeah, naughty. And also, apart from that is if Rahu is conjunct or is aspecting your seventh lord. So for example, if if your Aries ascendant, your seventh house, your spouse is will be Libra. So if a ruler of Libra, Venus, is with Rahu, that again can be conflicts due to, well, it could be bickering as well. But if it is with Rahu, it just means that they just slightly womanizers. Watch out for that one. Or another example, so if say you are Gemini ascendant and Jupiter is with Rahu, again similar kind of thing as well. It could also give you multiple relationships as well, because anywhere Rahu is, you really don't know that area of life very much. So you need to learn about all those respect and all that kind, respecting how other people feel, how you make them feel, and they will eventually get hurt by a relationship because somebody will not put up with it. So that's another one. And also, if seventh lord is generally in your chart is kind of not in a good condition as well, that could cause issues as well. But generally, we will stick with Rahu for difficult sort of relationships as well. And the other thing is as well is Venus for a man is their significator of love. Actually, Venus is a significator for love and what we look for in love. That's why I think if you haven't seen my Venus through the houses, it will just show what you look for in a relationship with love. So Venus is planet of love and relationships. So if Rahu aspects that, then that is difficult as well. I personally also, although, I'm just saying from what I've read in horoscopes I've done, I also find that because Venus is normally exalted in the 12th house. 12th house is also it's a secret house. It's also a house of bed pleasures. I think when you have Venus in the 12th house, if your partner has that, I would kind of be a little bit cautious. I'm not saying it's worse thing, because actually it gives a lot of strength to Venus. But it could be secret relationships as well, particularly in certain fixed stars or nakshatras, as they call it. One of the ones that I always think I'm a little bit suspicious of is Mrigashira. Mrigashira occurs between 23 degrees 20 of Taurus, Sidereal Taurus, and 6 degrees 40 of Gemini, again Sidereal. This is Sidereal zodiac. If Venus falls in those degrees, because Mrigashira is the actual one of the symbols for it is a deer, stag, and it's wandering. So it's always searching. So I find that if Venus is in Mrigashira, doesn't matter about the house, but particularly if it's a 12th house and Mrigashira, these people are they're opportunists. So if they're out, even if they're in very committed, very happy relationships, if they're out and about and they get the opportunity to just connect with somebody that night, they will do it. This is my personal experience, I've seen that in charts, so I'm happy to hear what you say. Any feedback is good. And also Venus with Mercury as well. I sort of think Venus Mercury can be, because Mercury is a little bit playful, and so when you actually get Mercury and Venus together, it's just a little bit like it's a very romantic kind of thing. It can be a little bit too much romance, and if Rahu is with it as well, oh my goodness. So yeah, so these are the things I think I would say can create that. Clearly some people have these and they have very good Saturn or Jupiter, so the planets of wisdom are strong, so therefore they don't need to worry about that at all, because they already know that having fun in a few minutes is not worth giving up a proper relationship and hurting the person that they love. that's it for today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you. Right, so I did Sun with Rahu, but I didn't really expand on Rahu Moon, I realised. Rahu Moon is another one that is a little bit difficult. So, you know, for ladies, we got to watch out if we end up with somebody with Sun Rahu. I dated a guy with Sun Rahu. Yeah, he was a massive cheat. And also I said if Rahu is 10th houses away from the sun, so you remember in astrology you always count the house that the sun is in as the first house. And if you then walk around the zodiac signs, if it's 10th from it is Rahu, that person doesn't really know themselves. So by actually they get that kind of like confidence from having more and more relationships because they think they are God's gift, you know. And guys, if you have that, please have heart for these ladies. You know, you want to be generous and kind to everybody. Anyway, Rahu Moon. So that means that Rahu is overshadowing the mind. And remember that Rahu is all about expansion, you know, North Node of the Moon, all about sort of magnifies everything, but it's a shadowy planet. It's all about illusion and delusion. It's crafty. So these people will, it can be difficult, particularly for ladies actually, this placement. But for, you know, generally speaking, I have seen it more in men's really, that Moon Rahu can make a person really chase fame. They want to be famous, they want to be noticed, they want to walk into a room and be noticed, and boy do they have charisma. They really have that magnetic thing about them. People do notice them, and also the women as well. But also obviously this is going to be quite difficult because Rahu is a malefic planet. It's going to be difficult on the mind. It's a mind that's really busy, it's not relaxed, it's overthinking, overdoing things. And I have seen that many people who have this will end up having extramarital relationships because they want to be noticed, they want to be liked by everyone, particularly if it's in Libra. But generally speaking, have a look at this as well. And you know, I always welcome your comments. You know, if you feel as though you've been with somebody who has had these, you know, and there are other ones as well, other types of configurations that can give cheating as well. But you know, I think one of the things that I can tell you is, doesn't matter what other people do, if they're cheaters or whatever, you got to learn from the experience. So if you've been with somebody who did that to you with these kind of conjunctions, then what you want to do is you actually got that wisdom now. So don't keep repeating the pattern. So learn from it and say goodbye to it as well. Thank you for watching the videos. See you soon.